Have you ever caught yourself replaying a painful moment with your child? Maybe a harsh word spoken in anger, a decision you didn't understand, or even years of silence, and wondered, why does it still hurt so much? As parents, we give our whole hearts to our children, and because of that deep love, their words and actions can wound us more deeply than almost anyone else's. But here's the truth most of us don't realize. When we hold on to those wounds, the one who suffers most is us. What if forgiving your children wasn't just about making peace with them? What if it was the very key to healing your own heart, improving your health, and rediscovering joy in the years ahead? That's what we're going to talk about today. Why forgiving your children can be one of the most powerful gifts you ever give yourself. Point 1. Forgiveness lifts a heavy burden. Resentment is heavy. Imagine walking through life with a backpack full of rocks. Every disappointment, every sharp word, every moment of rejection, another stone gets added. It's no wonder so many people feel tired, weighed down, and unable to truly enjoy their later years. Take Margaret, a 68-year-old mother. She carried one particular memory for decades. Her daughter, in a moment of anger, saying, "You were never there for me." Those words cut Margaret to the core. Even though her daughter grew up, started her own family, and treated her with love, Margaret could never fully let go of that one painful moment. It wasn't until she chose to forgive, not dismiss or erase, but truly forgive, that she felt something shift. She said, "It was like putting down a backpack I didn't even know I'd been carrying all these years." Forgiveness is not about excusing hurtful behavior. It's about choosing not to carry the burden of bitterness anymore. And when you put that burden down, you suddenly have energy for joy, for peace, for living fully again. Point 2. Forgiveness protects your health. Resentment doesn't just live in the mind. It shows up in the body. When we hold on to anger, our bodies release stress hormones that increase blood pressure, disrupt sleep, and even weaken the immune system. Over time, unforgiveness can make us sick. John, a retired teacher, experienced this firsthand. He and his son had drifted apart after years of disagreements. Every time John thought about their strained relationship, his chest would tighten. He found himself restless at night, replaying old arguments. When John started to intentionally forgive by praying, journaling, and even saying out loud, "I choose to let this go," something remarkable happened. His blood pressure dropped. His doctor even commented on the improvement. John later said, "I thought forgiving my son was for his sake, but I realized it healed me most of all. Science supports this. Studies show that people who practice forgiveness have lower stress, better sleep, and even healthier hearts." Forgiveness is more than an emotional release. It's medicine for the body. Point 3. Forgiveness creates space for reconnection. Bitterness builds walls, but forgiveness opens doors. Sometimes our children don't come closer because they feel the weight of our silent disappointment. When we forgive, we invite them back into relationship without conditions. Anna, a grandmother in her 70s, felt distant from her son. He had made choices she disagreed with, and for years she let that disappointment create a gap. Holidays were tense. Phone calls were short. She told herself, "He doesn't want me in his life anymore." But deep down, Anna longed for connection. When she chose to forgive, without needing him to change first, something softened. She reached out with love, not judgment. Slowly, her son started opening up again. Eventually, she met her grandchildren, something she had once feared would never happen. Forgiveness doesn't guarantee perfect reconciliation, but it creates space where love can grow again. And sometimes that small opening is all it takes to begin rebuilding a bridge. Point 4. Forgiveness teaches by example. Your children, no matter how old they are still learning from you. When you forgive, you're showing them what love looks like when it's strong, mature, and enduring. Michael, a 72-year-old father, struggled with this. His daughter had borrowed a large sum of money and never repaid it. For years, he carried resentment, reminding her of the debt every chance he got. Their conversations grew cold, and the relationship suffered. One day, Michael realized he wanted his grandchildren to see something different, to see that family mattered more than money. He chose to forgive the debt. He told his daughter, "I value our relationship more than any dollar amount." That moment changed everything. His daughter, moved by his grace, eventually began to repay what she could, not out of obligation, but out of love. More importantly, the family bonds grew strong again. By forgiving, Michael didn't just heal himself. He taught his daughter and grandchildren what love in action looks like. Point 5. Forgiveness brings you inner peace. Forgiving your children doesn't always mean they'll say, "I'm sorry." Sometimes they may never apologize. Sometimes they may not even see the hurt they caused. But forgiveness is not about waiting for their apology. It's about freeing your own heart. Elaine, a widow in her 60s, often felt a quiet anger at her son. He had left home too early, visited too little, and spoken too harshly during his teenage years. Decades later, the pain still lingered. One day, Elaine wrote her son a letter, not to accuse him, but to release him. She wrote, "I forgive you. I love you. I'm not holding on to the past anymore." She mailed it without expecting a reply. The next morning, she woke with a lightness she hadn't felt in years. Whether or not her son ever responded, Elaine's heart was at peace. Forgiveness is not dependent on someone else's behavior. It is your gift to yourself, the freedom to live without chains. Point 6. Forgiveness honors the love beneath it all. Why do we feel hurt by our children in the first place? Because we love them so deeply. The pain is real precisely because the love is real. Forgiveness allows us to honor that love instead of letting pain have the final word. Robert, an 80-year-old father, hadn't spoken to his daughter in over 10 years. He told friends, "She broke my heart." But in quiet moments, what he really meant was, "I miss her." When Robert chose forgiveness, he was able to say, "I love her more than I hate the hurt." That shift didn't erase the past, but it honored the bond that was always there beneath the pain. Forgiveness doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means recognizing that love is bigger than the wounds we've carried. Point 7. Forgiveness prepares you for peace in later life. As we age, many of us begin reflecting on what truly matters. Do we want our final years to be marked by anger or by peace? Forgiveness allows us to leave behind love as our legacy. Helen, a mother in her 70s, once said, "I don't want my children to remember me as the mother who stayed angry." She chose forgiveness, not because her children were perfect, but because she wanted her story to end in love. That choice gave her joy in her final years, and her children a memory of a mother who let love have the last word. When we forgive, we are not just healing the past. We are shaping the story our families will carry long after we're gone. So let me ask you, what stones are you still carrying? What words, what moments, what disappointments are still weighing down your heart? Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean excusing. It means choosing freedom over bitterness, peace over pain, love over resentment. And the beautiful truth is this: by forgiving your children, you don't just heal your relationship with them, you heal your own heart. If this message touched you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever experienced the freedom of forgiveness? Or are you still on that journey? Your story may inspire someone else who is listening tonight. And if you found this video meaningful, please give it a like, subscribe for more heartfelt reflections, and share it with someone who may need encouragement. Because in the end, forgiveness is love's greatest gift, and love is what makes life whole.